all cultures has sought to discover that higher aspect of himself, God. In secluded mountaintops, in the beauty of nature, in churches, ashrams, temples, mosques, and synagogues, his effort has been directed through the sacred process of meditation to access this higher experience of divinity within. The human body is a conductor of energy. The brain alone is composed of over 10 billion nerve cells, over which travel electrical impulses at speeds of up to 400 kilometers an hour. But man is more than just a physical body, and energy flows in, through and around the body in many forms, from measurable electrical impulses to higher forms of energy, sometimes referred to as vital force, prana, or spiritual light. Medical diagnostic and imaging technology, such as X-rays, ultrasound scanning, and magnetic resonance scanning, all allude to the fact that man is a vibrating energy field. In fact, the magnetic resonance scanner functions only because every cell in the body is vibrating at a specific frequency. One of the most recent and perhaps more astonishing discoveries of recent times has been that of the energy fields that surround man, the human aura. The invention of the Kirlian camera has enabled scientists to photograph this force field that surrounds every man, woman, and child. Medical researchers at the Medical University of Southern Africa, in Russia, and at Harvard and Yale universities in the USA have concluded through the process of Kirlian photography that man is indeed a radiating, vibrating, and materializing field of numerous subtle energies. The human aura is an energy field made up of subtle energies arising from our thoughts, of creativeness, feelings of love, emotions such as anger, intentions such as helpfulness, and motives such as selfishness, and as well as our physical tissue. Kirlian photography has given us a scientific grasp of what is known as a spiritual truth in all cultures, that man is a condensation of energy in a sea of energy. Every human is constantly interacting with others and the environment around us through the energy field that surrounds us and the environment. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, intentions, motives, attitudes, all reflect in the aura and affect the aura or energy fields of others and the environment in which we live. The changing patterns of our inner life are reflected in the aura as changes in color and intensity of illumination or brightness. Behavior and our choices in everyday life are especially reflected in the aura. Mr. Hussein Ibrahim, a researcher in Kirlian photography at the Medical University of Southern Africa, explains a little more about the Kirlian image and what it can tell us about the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual state of the human. What exactly is an aura?
The aura is this envelope, if I may use this, that you find around the individual or the human. It's referred to in the etheric body. We refer to it in the etheric body as the aura. I refer to it because of my research work into Kirlian photography from a scientific standpoint. I refer to it as electrical emission given off by the body. What I have found so far in my research work, that even an inanimate object like a coin would exhibit an image, a Kirlian photograph. We'd be able to see the result of a coin, a leaf, and of course humans.
And how would we understand the human aura then?
There are 7 levels that we can go through, and obviously as we go through the levels we obviously reach a very high level of consciousness, and as you reach the top you'd obviously find the ultimate in terms of a Kirlian image. And this obviously can all be portrayed. We can have a lower mental state, we can have a higher mental state, and this can all be portrayed in the aura. It brings me back to an important thing, and that is, we're talking about the aura, we are also talking about color, and color is light. What we see in the aura is what we as individuals are emitting at that moment in time, or that has been recorded at that precise moment when the image was taken or recorded.
It's very interesting that you mention this particular type of imaging, but what exactly is Kirlian photography?
Kirlian photography is a method of obtaining a photographic image of high energy interaction between a subject and an applied electric field. No external light is used for this particular technique. I might add at this point that people confuse a Kirlian camera with a conventional camera. In the Kirlian camera, you don't use an optical system. You have a discharge plate that accommodates your photographic material. I use photographic material most of the time because of the resolution and the definition that I get. You can also use photographic paper that you can use as a recording material. Despite the improvement that they have made to digital imaging and computer technology, film is still far superior, and it's also accurate. If you are using, for example, anything to do with digital, you have to make sure that you have some control over the accurate color calibration of such a system, so that the colors that you obtain in the aura are not misleading.
What exactly does a Kirlian image tell us about the human physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual state?
The pattern that you see in a Kirlian image obviously tells you a lot about the individual under investigation or the person that's being recorded.
Physical and
mental, yes. Physical, mental, whatever the case may be. In fact, the Kirlian technique, I believe, is the most sensitive technique that can record human emotions very accurately to a very high degree.
The emission that is coming from the human auric field has this effect of interacting with other energy fields around us. And what then is the understanding of how the aura reflects the inner state of consciousness of the man?
People can walk into an environment and have an effect on the person, or the negative can happen. The reverse can happen where it may have a negative effect. And all these factors can be picked up in the Kirlian image very, very accurately. Likewise, if you are on medication, it will also show up in the Kirlian image. So you would be able to do a study before taking any medication, or you can do a complete study before taking medication, during the administration of the medication, and afterwards. And this will all have an effect on the aura itself.
Now, it's obvious that the human aura, or the electrical emission coming from the human aura, can be affected by a number of factors, and this of course will govern the interpretation of the image. How then have you accommodated this?
This question that you just put to me is the most important question as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is where the controversy started many years ago. To overcome that, my first few years were spent standardizing the technique of Kirlian photography, where aspects like the environmental factors, like temperature, humidity, dielectric, the degree of ionization, all have an effect on your final image. So I spent my first few years standardizing all these factors, and also the photographic material that I used, standardizing that, as well as the appropriate developers that accompany each process. And since I do all my own in-house color printing and processing, it's done on positive film, so I can assure you my process is accurate, it's fully maintained, and my colors are accurate in the Kirlian image.
The images that we're seeing in a Kirlian photograph, how do we understand what is a normal and abnormal state? What exactly is the image reflecting to us?
You would use the technique of Kirlian photography as I mentioned, either in color or in black and white. Obviously it's better to use color, because you'd be able to pick up subtle changes in the individual or the surrounding field very, very accurately. Sometimes in black and white this becomes a problem, because the human eye cannot differentiate between minute shades of gray and the subtle changes within the grey pattern itself in the image. In a normal image, you'd find that the individual would have an all-over even blue aura or an electrical emission around the subject itself. So you'd find that it's fairly uniform. Having said that, you sometimes may find that there are certain areas where the aura may be broken up. As it gets to the disease profile, you'd find that the normal healthy blue aura gets impregnated with areas of orangey red, and also other colors that you will pick up depending on the individual's state of emotions and well-being. You also sometimes find that there are in the aura itself areas of darkness or blackness, as I would refer to them, that they are absolute blotches that you can see very clearly.
This emission that we are picking up in the Kirlian image, what exactly does it reflect to us about the inner state or the state or level of consciousness of the individual?
And with regard to the auras, the streamers that are emitted, you sometimes find that these streamers are very uniform. Sometimes you find that they are jagged. Where they are emitted under very high magnification, that would also be able to pick up certain areas of the problem with the individual, whatever that problem may be. For example, problems related to gastric problems, you would find that there's a characteristic problem and a characteristic pattern that's emitted by the subject. Under the influence of alcohol, you would find that the aura enlarges. It gets bigger and bigger with the intake of alcohol. And obviously over a period of time, as the alcohol is worn off, you'd find that the aura would return to its normality, whatever that state of normality would be as far as that individual is concerned.
It would then seem that the images that we are seeing are relative to every individual. Is it then that every individual has a different type of aura and that it changes from time to time?
If you have evil thoughts, you will find that in the aura itself. It will be there. If you have pleasant thoughts, it will also be in the aura. You will find that there's just no doubt about it. You as an individual will not have any control over emotions, because the aura will pick up all those subtle changes that are taking place within you as an individual. Your mental thoughts will also be reflected in the final image itself.
And how would you understand the interconnection between this science of Kirlian photography and the levels of consciousness that we are able to observe in man?
Over my 20 years, what I have found working in Kirlian photography for myself is that there is this higher level of consciousness that we as individuals have, and the effect that this can have on individuals is absolutely amazing. And I would go one step further and talk about meditation. For example, in all cultures, in one form or the other, you have meditation, whatever that meditation may mean to any individual. And you would find, for example, that if you are meditating, if I were to photograph you before meditation, you will get a particular image. And after 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, how long you may meditate, I can assure you and guarantee you that your aura will have changed. Provided, of course, that one's thoughts are pure in one's thinking and what you're about to do.
The mind is like a screen. Of its own, it can do nothing. It is the senses that imprint on the screen of the mind impressions, on which the mind then acts to create our thoughts, emotions, words, and deeds. Whatever we take in through the 5 gateways to the mind influences the state of our energy field or aura. What we see and what we eat, smell, touch, or hear all create the mind and influence our thoughts, words, deeds, and behavior. Our influence on others and our immediate environment through our energy fields or auras is therefore directly related to our state of mind. Similarly, the energy fields of others, as well as the environments or places we find ourselves in, directly affects the state of our mind. To put it simply, what we take in through our senses is what we become. Consider an energy field such as a magnetic field, shown here by iron filings which have arranged themselves along the lines of force of the magnetic field. This field of energy can be influenced in a positive or negative way by another magnetic field. When another magnetic energy field comes into the range of influence of the first field's effect, distortion or enhancement occurs. So too, our energy fields influence one another, either by attracting each other, dominating each other, or distorting each other. Therefore, our energy fields generated by our mind, thoughts, feelings, emotions, attitudes, motives, all influence our environment and other humans. The places we frequent, the company we keep, what we eat, the music or conversation that we listen to, types of television programs or movies we watch, what we read, the odors we are exposed to, all influence our energy field or state of mind. Great leaders have powerful auras and can therefore influence society and nations. It is their purity and nobleness of intention that brings positive benefit and peace to others.
that story with what I want to say. That if you really want to see India at its best, you have to find it in a cottage, in a humble home.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Leaders with powerful auras, but with weak moral and spiritual values, wreak havoc on mankind.
Ihr müsst euch fügen, ihr müsst euch diesen unerhörten Zwang beugen. Das deutsche Volk siegt ein! Siegt ein! Siegt ein!
The great suffering that we see today in mankind is the expression of the negative energy fields of billions of humans who have little or no idea that they are creating their sorry condition through their own minds or energy fields. It is in this context that meditation as a spiritual tool is considered a vital and necessary skill in the life of every human. Ultimately, whatever the form of meditation, its main purpose is to purify the mind of negativity, raising the energetics of the mind to a higher order of functioning, thereby bringing benefit to the individual, nation, and planet. Meditation is that which is beyond mind, spirituality. That which is below mind is science. Meditation is the expression of balance at all levels of the mind-body complex. In all cultures of mankind, this noble pursuit has been explored in different ways. Seeking to penetrate our lower order of functioning, the sages and seers of all lands have expended great effort to show us how to unmask our latent divinity through the process of meditation. These great spiritual scientists unraveled what modern science is today beginning to demonstrate. Studies researching the effects of meditation on the human corroborate what the ancient seers cognized. The regular practice of meditation has positive health benefits. Creativity improves, concentration is enhanced, longevity is improved. Meditation can be described as that process which enables us to purify the mind of negative thoughts, feelings, and desires, and eventually stilling the mind into one-pointed awareness. This one-pointed awareness is then focused on God, our own inner reality. There are many types of meditation available in the different cultures of the world. The simplest, most universal, and most beneficial form of meditation is light meditation, as given by Sathya Sai Baba. Sathya Sai Baba is regarded by millions all over the world in different cultures as a world spiritual teacher. Based in India, the teachings of this incarnation of God in human form is bringing about a spiritual regeneration in all religions and appeals to the minds of spiritual aspirants from all walks of life and from all religions. Sai Baba has recommended the systematic use of light meditation daily as the most profound way to cleanse the mind and focus it on our own latent divinity. The principle of this type of meditation uses the means of symbolic light. We perceive light permeating our entire being, driving away all the negative tendencies, then extending this light of love to our kith and kin, friends and even enemies, and finally bathing the entire universe in this light. As it is the senses that bring into the mind negative and unwanted tendencies, the focus is on purifying the senses systematically through symbolic light. But why is light the best medium for meditation? Firstly, it burns dross. It dispels the darkness of ignorance. It energizes. It suffers no lessening or dilution. And finally, it symbolizes progress, evolution, and auspiciousness. Light is perhaps the most fitting and universal symbol for God. The most effective and universal way of meditating, meditation on the flame or light, can be done by anyone irrespective of religion, creed, or caste. Offer a silent, earnest, heartfelt prayer to God for His guidance and grace. Keep a lamp or candle with an open flame steady and straight in front of you. Look upon the flame steadily for some time. Closing the eyes, try to feel the flame inside you, between your eyebrows. Let the flame slide down into the lotus of your spiritual heart, illuminating the path. When it enters the heart, imagine that the petals of the lotus open out one by one, bathing every feeling and emotion in the light, and so removing darkness from them. There is no space for darkness to hide. The light of the flame becomes wider and brighter. Let it pervade your hands and legs, becoming brighter and brighter. Now these limbs can no more deal in dark, suspicious, wicked activities, because they have become the instruments of light and love. Let the light reach up to the tongue. Falsehood vanishes from it. Let it rise up to the ears and eyes and destroy all dark desires that infest them, leading into perverse sights and puerile conversation. Let the head be surcharged with light, and all wicked thoughts flee therefrom. Imagine that the light is brightening more and more in you, more intensely. Let the light radiate all around you, in ever-widening circles, reaching your loved ones, your kith and kin, your companions, even your rivals, enemies, strangers, in fact all living beings encompassing the entire world. Then all is light. Light is in you. You are in the light. Since light illumines all senses every day so deeply, so systematically, a time will soon come when you can no more relish dark and evil sights, or yearn for dark and sinister tales, or crave for low, harmful, deadening things, or approach places of ill fame and injury, or frame evil designs against anyone at any time. Stay on in that thrill of witnessing light everywhere. If you are adoring God in any form now, try to visualize that form in the all-pervasive light. For God is light, and light is God. Practice this meditation every day regularly. At other times, repeat the name of God, any name, fragrant with any of His many majesties, always taking care to be conscious of His might, mercy, and munificence. Light meditation is demonstrated in the before and after Kirlian photographs of a person who has practiced this form of meditation. The changes in the aura and the intensity of the aura are quite visible in the before and after pictures. And so the ancient journey to our Godhead continues. Through light meditation, the purification of mind will be effected, and each human will unfold his latent divinity, expressing as the 5 basic human values with all its manifest sub-values, each bringing truth, goodness, and beauty into expression, manifesting our divine nature. As we work with this light, it will touch others too, and soon the whole of humanity will throb with the experience of the divine within.